I welcome you to our first topic for the whole semester, which is ethics. I know that every day, every time we wake up in the morning and before we retire and sleep at night, there is one thing that is very consistent. From the moment that you wake up and from the moment you sleep, you are always deciding. That is a reality in our life. And when it comes to deciding, it is always a matter of should I do this or should I not do this? Will I give in to this or will I not give in to this? Our decisions are always a two-way street, or our decisions are always in black and white, or our decisions is always a matter is it good or is it bad. That is why today we will talk about ethics, and later on we will discuss the the formal definition of ethics. But before that, we must always remember that ethics is a branch of philosophy. I do not know from your previous classes or from your when you were in high school, especially, or in college, um, you've come across with your subject in philosophy. Well, to understand it better, um, as I've said before, ethics is a branch of philosophy. And what is a philosophy? Well, let us go back or let us review our vocabulary or our language subjects. Philosophy came from two words, um, two Greek words actually. The first one is philo, which means love. Um, and the other one, the Sophie or the Sophia, means wisdom. The literal meaning of philosophy is the love for wisdom. And when a person, well, naturally, a person is an ethical person or he is a moral person, from the mere fact that he is an ethical person, he has this love for wisdom. Ethics is, we'll discuss later, ethics is not just something that we do or we tag our actions as right or wrong or good and evil, but it is also a wisdom. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of if I may say, self-sacrifice or discipline to become an ethical person. And it comes from wisdom. It will always come from wisdom. And since ethics is a branch of philosophy, a love of wisdom in a literal sense, we also can go back to the origin word of ethics. It came from the Greek word as well, ethos, which means norms or tradition or culture. You can translate it that way. So, ethics is based on norms. Ethics is based on what the person is usually doing in his community, in his family, in his country. That is why, if we can see, it is not just ethics is not just about wisdom. When we talk, the problem here is that when we talk about wisdom, it is something that is so deep that is floating in the clouds. No, but it is an integral part of the human person. It is an integral part of the experience of man. Basing on the literal translation of ethics or ethos, which means norms, tradition, or culture. It is an integral part of man. It is not just floating like a wisdom. It is not like a picture of Plato or Aristotle comprehending life. It is not like that. It is not enough. That is why It is good that we can define in a proper sense what ethics is. Ethics, first and foremost, it is an empirical study of moral decisions. Take of note of the word empirical. Empiricism, or in the literal sense, empirical means it is based on experience. It is based on reality. That is why what I said before from the previous slide, it is not just something about a floating sense or a floating idea. It is based on experience. It is based on reality. You are doing it. You are an ethical person. That is why every time that you will decide or every time that you will act, it is always based on experience. Everything that you do, every experience that you have, every action that you do, it is based on reality. It is based on experience. It is not imaginary. It is not a dream. Okay, I hope you can still follow. You can ask me some questions if you have any questions. If there's something that is not clear to you, you can raise your hand if you want so that I can call you properly. And the second definition that we can give about ethics is it is concerned with what is morally good or evil, right or wrong. If you can follow the text or that definition, it is saying good or evil, right or wrong. If you can read between the lines, it is saying something. Ethics is black and white. It is either good or bad. It is either right or wrong. There are no gray shades in ethics. There are no gray shades in morality or in moral philosophy. There are no white lies. Student Students used to ask me, "Sir, how about white lies?" It is still a lie. It is still a lie. There is no middle ground. A white lie is still a lie. That is why, class, um, let us go back to my example earlier. From the moment that you wake up to the moment that you will rest, it is always a matter of right and wrong. And you always have to choose. Okay? So if you have any questions, just tell me and I will try my best to answer it. Thank you for listening.